What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Six Pack Abs. This is Coach Jonny Catanzano, and today we're on location at one of my favorite restaurants here in Austin, Texas. We're actually outside of Lupe Tortilla, a Mexican restaurant. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go inside. I'm gonna teach you guys how to analyze the menu, what foods to avoid, what foods you should be ordering. Then I'm gonna run you through and actually show you guys how to order and what questions to ask to your server. That way you can stay on track, ensuring to continue to head towards your goals of either losing body fat, maintaining your lifestyle, or even building muscle. The other thing is, guys, we might be outside of a Mexican restaurant. A lot of you sitting at home are probably like, Jonny, there's no healthy food in there. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can find healthy food at just about every restaurant, no matter where you go. That's why we have included this in part of our Healthy Eating Out series. So you can find healthy food even in Mexican restaurants. And some of the reasons I chose this place was because Mexican restaurants are very prevalent across the United States. Plus, the food is amazing. Let's go inside. All right, so I've had time to analyze this menu, and let me tell you, there are some fantastic looking things on here. But obviously, we need to be smart about what we're doing here because we have goals. So there's a lot of things that we can have, but there's quite a few things that we're gonna wanna avoid. So why don't you come over here and take a look at the menu with me, and I'm gonna show you guys and girls some of the things that we wanna avoid just altogether, pretty much just skip out on, and then also some other items that you could definitely have besides what I'm gonna order. So come take a look. Okay guys, so now that we have the menu in front of us, you can see that there's quite a few items. If you turn it over, then they have some other stuff here on the back. So real quick, just from a snapshot viewpoint, the things you realistically wanna avoid are gonna be the majority of appetizers. Now, I know that is definitely a little bit sad. However, what you will find is the majority of appetizers on menus are not very healthy, and they're a little bit harder to make healthy. So typically I recommend people just skip them altogether. You might be able to find something in there that you would want to enjoy, but to be honest with you, when you come to a restaurant, you should typically stick to just a dinner meal and maybe a side salad or something like that. When you start adding appetizers and desserts, that's when you're going to push your calorie total well into the thousands, and you'll be eating nearly half to an entire day's worth of food in one meal. Moving down to the bottom, we've got sopas and ensaladas, which is gonna be soup and salads. You do have some options here. Recommended with salads is always be careful with the dressing and then any toppings. You wanna look for things like cheese and croutons, those sort of things. You definitely can ask your server to hold off on those and have the salad with just the vegetables. Get the dressing on the side or order something like oil and vinegar instead. Now, moving on to the menu, through the menu, you can see that we've got fajitas. That's kind of what they're known for, world famous. We'll come back to this. Carne asadas are gonna be steak type meals. Your grilled especials are gonna be grilled specialties. And then you've also have fresh seafood down here. One thing that I really like about Lupe Tortilla in their menu is they actually tell you what the serving size is of the protein. So if you look down here, let's say maybe we get the tilapia Veracruz. It's got an 8-ounce filet with grilled shrimp, roasted red pepper, cream sauce, cilantro, and queso fresco. Now, if I were to order something like this, I would probably hold off on this cheese topping and that sort of thing, maybe get it on the side. Maybe you can still try it and still control how much you actually have of it. That would be something you can definitely have. There's a lot of other items on here like the grilled fish tacos. We've got a lot of chicken dishes, and of course the carne asada dishes. It tells you the amount in it, and typically with restaurants that, if it says 10 ounces, that's probably gonna be your pre-cooked weight. So you're gonna lose about 10 to 20%, so you can assume you're gonna get about 8 ounces of grilled carne asada if you get the carne asada, which is a 10-ounce serving. Always make sure and ask questions, and I'm gonna teach you guys which questions to ask when it comes time to order. Other items that you're probably gonna wanna avoid is anything fried or deep fried. With that method of cooking, you're adding some either batter or flour or breadcrumbs, and then you're also gonna be adding oil, and it's cooking it in the oil. So typically that's something you're gonna wanna avoid. Anything grilled, anything broiled, even blackened typically are gonna be really good and healthier choices. Now, I have to say one other thing just to be careful with Mexican food is the cheese. So cheese is good, but they do add it to a lot of the dishes here. So like I recommend is get it on the side or ask for no cheese at all. All right, now that we know what foods we wanna avoid and what foods we're good to order, now let's figure out what questions we need to ask the server. So when it comes to tracking your calorie intake in order for either fat loss or muscle building or maintenance, You need to know everything that's going in your mouth. So we need to identify what questions we need to ask the server in order to figure out what all is in the food. So let's say, for example, if I'm gonna order the carne asada, my question should be, what is the serving size of the carne asada? Meaning about how many ounces after cooking or before cooking. Is the carne asada coated in any sort of oils or butters prior to cooking? And if so, can I hold off on those? Next is, what are the side options? And if the sides are something like a vegetable, steamed vegetable, or a sauteed vegetable, ask what those vegetables are sauteed in. Are those vegetables, are they cooked in any sort of oils or butters, or are they just plain steamed? Your next question is gonna be your side. If it's gonna come with something like rice, ask roughly how much rice am I gonna get with the meal? He might say it's a half a cup, it's a cup. Any sort of serving size he's gonna give you is gonna help you be able to identify how many total calories are in that. And remember, most places are really, absolutely, totally cool with you asking them for things on the side or to hold off on certain items. Now, if you're in a pinch and you're out, you probably aren't gonna have a food scale, probably not gonna have measuring cups. Now that's okay. We just wanna have a rough estimate of what we're consuming. By asking those questions, you should be able to figure it out, but sometimes you might not get the answer, and that's where your hand comes into play. The palm of your hand is gonna fit roughly 3 ounces of cooked meat. The size of your fist is gonna be roughly 1 cup of vegetables or carbohydrates. Your thumb is about the size of a tablespoon, and then your finger is about the size of a teaspoon. So you can use those to estimate roughly how many calories are in that meal. And we're gonna talk later why this is important and how you can track it to make sure that you stay on track. Now remember, we always need to identify the amount of protein, fat, and carbohydrates. So you know to ask about the serving size of steak, you know to ask about the serving size of carbohydrates, but make sure and ask if there are any added oils, butters, or fats into the food. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna order. I'm actually gonna go ahead with the fajitas, A, because I love them, and B, because they're world famous here, and C, because it's actually one of the healthier items on the menu. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the fajitas, and typically when you get fajitas, it comes out on a sizzling plate with either steak or chicken or chorizo, and then it's gonna have your vegetables. So the questions that I'm gonna ask are gonna be how much steak, how much chicken is gonna come, because I'd like to get the mix to have a little bit of both. I might ask about what the type or the cut of steak is. I'm gonna ask if it's got any oils or butters cooked either on the steak or on those sauteed vegetables. Then for the sides, typically you get rice, beans, maybe some pico de gallo, and guacamole. Now the pico de gallo is very minimal calories. The lettuce is gonna be very minimal calories. Not so concerned with that. The serving size of rice, I'm gonna wanna identify, is it a half a cup? Is it a cup? The beans, typically you might wanna shy away from the refried beans. Those are a little bit unhealthier. Maybe ask if they have pinto beans or other type of grilled or boiled beans, or no beans at all. You might be able to replace it with something like a side salad. I'm also gonna start it off with a salad. I do like a lot of vegetables. It's good for digestion, your micronutrients. So I'm just gonna start off with a small side salad, not a dinner portion salad. If you order a salad from here and then a meal, you're gonna get 2 dinner portion sizes. Ask for a side salad, and I like just oil and vinegar. I'm gonna ask for oil and vinegar on the side. Thank you. All right, Jonathan, now the side salad, does it come with anything on it?
Yes, sir. So the side salad, it's a spring mix with diced avocado, peppers, pico de gallo, and queso fresco on top.
Okay, I'll hold on the queso fresco, but everything else sounds good.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect, thank you.
Yes, sir. Side salad.
All right.
And lime vinaigrette dressing on the side for you.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Was there anything else right now, sir?
I think we're okay for now. Thanks, Jonathan, appreciate it. All right, so we got the side salad here. Looks amazing. We got pico on it, we got some avocado, and we got the dressing on the side. Really quickly, you can analyze, this looks like maybe 1/4 to 1/2 of an avocado. You've got a couple tablespoons of pico, and then it looks like you got the spring mix. So just from just glancing at it, you've probably maybe got 200 calories here, maybe tops. Then your dressing, which looks like you've probably got about 3 tablespoons there, which I don't need all of it. I'll probably only use maybe 1 or 2. And most dressings are gonna be oil-based. So you can assume there's 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil in there, which is primarily gonna be fat. And then you put that on there, you can figure out this totals out to about 300 calories with a little bit of the dressing on it. Put a little pepper on there too. All right, so clearly the salad was delicious. And all it was spring mix, avocado, and a little bit of their jalapeno-based dressing. Wow, it's delicious, spicy, so good. Now, one benefit to spicy food, might increase that core temperature a little bit, burn a couple more calories while you're sitting still. Pro tip.
And did we have any questions or anything on the menu for today for you, sir?
Yes, I do. I actually have quite a few questions. I just want to ask you real briefly. So I'm going to go ahead with the fajitas.
Yes, sir.
Now, I see you have two different serving sizes here, a half pound or a pound. Now, is that a half a pound before or after cooking?
Before cooking.
Before cooking. It's about 6 ounces or so?
About 7.
6 or 7? Oh, 7?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, can I get a mixture of the beef and chicken?
Yes, sir.
What kind of beef is that?
So it's going to be a skirt steak.
Skirt steak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So it's going to be about 3.5 ounces of skirt steak and about 3.5 ounces of chicken.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is the chicken or beef, is that cooked in any sort of oils or butters or anything?
It is in lime pepper marinade.
Lime pepper marinade?
Before.
Okay. Okay, so it's marinated in that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no problem. That's totally cool. I'll just make sure and account for that. Now, with the sides, I get guacamole, pico de gallo, cheddar cheese, grilled onions, and rice. What is the serving size on the rice?
On the rice, it's about, I would say about 1 scoop, probably about 4 to 5 ounces.
Okay, so about half a cup or so?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Then the guacamole, about how much is on there?
About the same amount of size. You do
Okay.
1 scoop for everything for the half.
Okay, perfect. Now, I want to start off with just a side salad as an appetizer.
Yes, sir.
And then can I have just plain oil and vinegar on the side?
We could do olive oil.
Yeah, olive oil. Do you have any vinegar?
No, sir.
Okay, well, what kind of dressings do you have?
Jalapeno vinaigrette.
Okay.
Or we have.
Let's go ahead and do that, but can I do that on the side as well? Okay, perfect. So we got the fajitas. Now, it comes with the rice. Now, does it come with tortillas as well?
It'll come with homemade flour or corn tortillas.
Okay, cool. We'll take a few of the corn tortillas. I may or may not use them, but that is good to have the option.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I think that is all the questions I had for now. We identified the protein, we identified the fat, the carbohydrates. I'm good to go.
Yes, sir.
All right.
We'll get the start for you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate it. I hear him. Okay.
Beef and chicken.
All right.
Molcajete. Rice and beans.
Perfect.
Sour cream. Flour tortillas. And we have the homemade corn tortillas also.
All right.
Is there anything else right now for you, sir?
That's it, Jonathan. Thank you so much. All right, guys, the food's here. The smells are incredible. We've got a lot of options. So real quick, what we're gonna avoid, obviously, is the cheese. We don't need all that cheese. It's a lot of cheese. This guacamole looks good. It's a pretty big serving size there. That looks to be about almost half of an entire avocado, medium size or so. So we might not use all that. The pico, use it all. The rice definitely is about a half a cup there. And then the refried beans, we'll probably pass on these. I did forget to ask if they had a different type of bean, but that's okay. I've got plenty of other food. We've got the tortillas. I'll probably only maybe have one of these, and then everything else, it's just gonna be meat and veggies. Now the sour cream, guys, it's probably not very healthy either. I would probably just go ahead and avoid that as well. All right, everybody. So the meal was fantastic, so delicious. The other thing is I'm walking away here with a sense of confidence that I stayed on target and I didn't screw things up for myself. A lot of people will do that. They'll just eat freely and kind of go in, and then you have that massive sense of guilt afterwards. So if you can just take it upon yourself to preemptively plan just a little bit, you will completely avoid getting yourself into that situation. So what you can see here is that I did eat all the fajitas. They were delicious. I ate the majority, all the beef, all the steak, the veggies. I actually bypassed the rice and I only had a couple tortillas. I had like 2 tortillas, so maybe about 50 grams of carbs. Stayed away from the beans, didn't use any cheese, only a little bit of the guac and a little bit of the pico. And now I'm happy, I'm satisfied, and I'm full. All right, so now the big takeaway from this is just do just a little bit of planning before you go to the restaurant. and then a little bit of analyzation of the menu, and you can stay on target and stay healthy, keep working towards your goals. From Six Pack Abs, this is Coach Jonny on location here at Lupe Tortilla in Austin, Texas. We'll see you next time.